So I'm a hedge fund portfolio manager and a trader.
Okay.
I don't I don't code myself. I have people who do who we use a lot of programs.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this was learning experience, trying to get my learning curve up to see exactly how it's done on the back end. I'm very familiar with a lot of the products that I put out. I use them a lot in every day,
Mm-hmm.
either for risk analysis or for decision making. But
Mm-hmm.
this is just to get into the back end of things to see how it's done.
Okay. All right, great. What's your name, by the way? Puneet, right?
Puneet, Puneet,
Okay.
correct.
All right. Okay. So thanks, Puneet, for your introduction. Rahul, you
Twice.
can just give me your introduction.
So hi, I am Rahul Raj, and I'm currently in my final years in my BTech in IITDH,
Okay.
and I had traded in different financial markets like forex and all, and in the option market in the Indian stock market also I had traded. I manage a little bit of the portfolio of the different investors. Like the funds are up to a mark, not much, and given remarkable return of around 80%, 18% per annum.
Okay.
That's it.
Coding. Have you ever done coding before?
Yeah, I am CS student, so I had did the coding also.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Rahul, for your introduction. Benson, what about you? Benson Yang.
Yeah, hi. So, hi everybody. So, I'm currently working in treasury in a fintech company. So, I do trade FX and equities most of the time. Yeah.
Coding. Have you ever done coding before?
I took my diploma in coding, but I'm a bit rusty now. So, yeah, it's good for me to refresh over here, lah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay. So let's start the session now. I hope you can see my screen. Just give me a second. All right. So let me give you a quick introduction about myself too. So my name is Sunil. I'm the one who will be guiding you guys to learn Python for finance and trading. So I've been teaching finance professional for the past 4 years, and I've been in the algo trading domain for the past 7 years now. So what I do full time is I automate strategies. So if you're someone, suppose you're a trader, you have a strategy and you wish to automate it from start to end. So you will reach out to me. I'll just code your strategy. I'll deploy it on the server, and you don't have to do anything. That's what I do, and I have programmed various strategies in various market. That's what I do full time. Okay. So let me just give you a brief overview about what are the things we will be covering in the coming 4 months. So once you log into your account on fesapro.com, you'll find two courses. One is by the name Python for Finance and Algo Trading, and another course where you'll find the recording. That course name will be your batch name, batch 22, 23, some batch name will be there. Now, in that batch course, you will find the recording of the session. Now, once the session ends, the session will be recorded by the end of the day. You can access the recording anytime you want. Now, in the other course, that is Python for Finance, I have provided you with all the content and necessary videos to refer to before coming to the session, or even after the session you can refer to. So these are all the topics we will be covering in the first 2 months. That is in Jan and Feb, we will be covering all the fundamental topics. Fundamental topics like what are variables. Now, if you go to variables, I have written why you should learn Python. What are data types, variable. Then I've also provided you with some quizzes. If you have understood the topic, you should be able to give the quiz. Then there are challenges too. Some problems I've given you. Then the concept video also I've provided. Okay,
Hi.
you can just go through this video to understand the topic again. Like we'll cover all the fundamental topics, starting from variable, string, conditional, loop, function, class, and object. Then we will move to intermediate topics. Intermediate topics like data analysis. Now, whatever you're able to do in Excel, the same thing you can do it in Python also. We need to learn a library called as pandas. So that's what we will be discussing here. Then we will be discussing about time series data. Now in stock market, we deal with time series data. Each data has a timestamp associated to it. So how do you deal such type of data? Then we will talk about few more advanced topic like Telegram bot. Let's say you have a strategy and you want your strategy notification to be given to your Telegram app. Okay, so you can do it by using the concept that we will learn in this topic. Okay, once all the basic stuff is done, then we will also be studying about data scraping. Like let's say you have a website, where you want to get the data from that website. Okay, so you'll use this topic of web scraping to scrape the entire data from that website. Or if you want to do some automation, like you want to do log in some website, copy the data from that website, store it in the Excel sheet, all type of automation you will be able to do after we cover this topic. Once we have covered all the basic intermediate stuff, then we will move to finance stuff. So we will discuss about how you can get the data. There are two types of data. One is tick level data, one is candle data. How you can get both type of data. Then how do you resample data? If you have 1 minute data, how you can convert it into 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, whatever time frame you want. Then we will do some fundamental analysis. I'll show you how you can get financial data, uh, like I'll just show you Yahoo Finance. If you go to Yahoo Finance, if you search for stock like Google, now if you go to financials, okay, you'll see they have all the data like income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. So all this data, how you can get in Python and how to analyze it, everything I will be discussing in the fundamental part. Then we will move to technical analysis. Technical analysis, I'll show you how to calculate the indicators like SMA, EMA, MACD, RSI, all those stuff. Then price action, how to figure out a pattern in a chart by using programming. That's what we will be discussing in price action. Then few performance metrics. Now, once you have a strategy, you want to know if your strategy is good or bad. For that, we will be studying about few metrics like CAGR, MDD, maximum drawdown, Kalmer ratio, Sharpe ratio, all the stuff. Once all the thing is covered, then we will move to broker. Okay. So for the broker, we will be using this international broker called as Interactive Broker. Is there anyone who has an account in Interactive Broker? Just raise your hand if you have an account in Interactive Broker. No one?
Well, I've had an account and I'm probably dormant, but I can bring it up again.
Yeah. So for this course, we will be needing this account. In Interactive Broker, we have an option for paper trading. So we won't be doing any live trade. We will be paper trading. All the strategies that we will be building. The same strategy you can implement in the live market too. You just need to change one line of code, and you're good to go. Now in broker, we will learn about how do you get historical data. Whether you want 1 month data, 1 year data, 10 year, 20-year data for any contract you want, you can get it via Interactive Broker. Then real time data. Now this is called WebSocket. You don't want the delayed data, right? You want exactly at this time what's the price of the stock or what's the price of that stock. So that you can get by using WebSocket. Okay.
Don't you have to pay extra for real time?
For Indian market, it's free. For US market, you have to pay some amount. It's somewhere around between $50 to $100 per month.
For everyone on this group, do they have to, when they open an account, do they
Mhm.
have to pay for real time data or?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So once you open an account, if you have an account, Interactive Broker gives you free data for Forex. Okay. So whatever strategy I will be discussing, you can run it, test it on the Forex data. But in case if you're someone who want to run the same strategy on your exchange, so you need to buy the data for that exchange.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. But whatever I will be teaching, you will be able to do it for free. Okay. Depending on the instrument that you're trading. Then we will discuss about how to place orders, whether you want to place a limit order, bracket order, cover order, any type of order you want, how to place it. Then I'll be discussing about templates. I'll give you an entire template of a strategy. Once you understand this template, you will be able to implement any strategy that you have. Okay, you just need to do some edits and you're good to go. All right. Then we will be discussing about one more Indian broker. Now, for Indian student who don't have Interactive Broker account, you can go for another broker called as Fires. But for this Saturday Sunday session for this batch, I will only be discussing about Interactive Broker. Okay. Once we have understood the strategies and all, then we'll learn about backtesting. So if you go to strategy and backtesting, you'll see different strategies result I've provided you. Like this is ADX strategy. This is the overall result. How do you calculate this result? This we will be discussing. Once we have covered all this thing, then there are few advanced topic which are optional for all of you. If you want, you can attend. If you don't want, it's fine. Even if you don't attend. That is how to deploy your strategy on the cloud. Let's say you have built your entire strategy. Now you want to take this strategy and deploy it on the server. You don't want your strategy to be running on your computer. So this topic is an advanced topic which we will be discussing. Then we will be discussing about machine learning. Like let's say you want to get some news from some website and you want to understand the sentiment of that news. Okay, so that involves machine learning techniques and all. So that we will be discussing in the advanced topic. And the last one is option trading. Now, option strategies, you will only understand the sessions if you know the fundamental of options, like what is call, what is put, what is PCR, all those basic stuff. If you know, only then you will understand that topic. So in that, I'll explain you how to design an option strategy, strategies like strangle, straddle, and condor, all the basic multiple leg strategies we will be discussing. And that will be the end of our course. Okay. So these are all the things that we will be covering in the coming 4 months. 4 to 5 months, it might go up to 5 months if you attend the advanced sessions too. Okay. So anyone has any doubt in the syllabus, anything you want to ask? Okay. All right. So let's start with today's session then. Is my screen visible? Okay. So
Yes,
let's
yes.
try to understand why we should learn Python. Now, you know that in market there are other languages too, like there is C++, there is Java, there is JavaScript, there is Golang, so many languages are there. So why we should learn Python? Okay, so I will give you 3 reasons. First is it is easy to read. If you compare Python with other languages like C++ and all, C++ is very difficult compared to Python. The second is fast. Now, when I say fast, I don't mean to say it is faster than C++. What I mean to say is if there are two developers, one who is coding in Python and the other one is coding in C++, then the C++ developer will take more time and the Python developer will take less time. In that perspective, Python is faster. And the last one is versatile. It means it can be used in different domains. Okay, so whether you are using Python in finance domain, whether you are using finance in maybe medical domain or architecture domain, everywhere Python is being used. Why? Because it is so simple. That's why everyone is using it. So particularly in finance industry, it is used in stock market, it is used for report generation and all. It is also used for loan defaults, like banks and all use Python to analyze the premiums, all those stuff. Okay, these are the few reasons why you should learn Python. Now let's understand about Python interpreter. So what's an interpreter? Now let's say someone among you don't know English. Okay, so how will I communicate with him? So what I will do, I'll take the third guy, someone who knows English and he also knows Hindi. Let's say someone don't understand English, he only knows Hindi. So what I'll do, I'll explain the stuff to that guy in English. He'll explain the third guy in Hindi, right? So that third guy, he is acting as an interpreter. What he's doing is converting one language to another language, right? The same thing is applicable for Python. In reality, computers don't understand Hindi and English. Okay, computers only understand one thing, that is zeros and one. If there are two computers, they'll speak in zeros and one. Okay, so we need a way to communicate with them. That's why we created a software. The software is called Python Interpreter. What this software does, this software converts a high level language to a low level language. What is high level? High level language is Python. Okay, it's same as English. If you look at Python code, you'll understand it is more or less English only, right? With just some rules and regulation that you have to follow. So this high level language, that is Python, is being converted to low level language, that is zeros and one, also called as binary language. Okay, so this is what this software does. So if you write a Python code, without this software, you cannot execute your Python code. Okay, like if you have a PDF file in your computer, you need a Acrobat software or some PDF reading software, right? If you have a doc file, a docx, dox, then you need a Microsoft Docs document, software in your computer. Without that software, you cannot open that file. Similarly, if you want to run a Python file, you need this interpreter. Okay, so tomorrow we will be installing this software. Today, we will just be using an online interpreter. What's an online interpreter? The software is installed on a website. I'll show you how to visit that site and how to write the code on that site today and tomorrow. Okay, from next week onwards, we will be using local interpreter. Okay, I'll show you all the software that we need, all the software we will be installing tomorrow. And from next week onward, you can write the code in your local computer. Okay, so this was about Python interpreter. Now, let's discuss about Python mathematical operator. Now, in maths, we have plus, minus, all those things, right? The same thing are also there in Python. We have addition operator, we have multiplication operator. So to multiply, we use star. We don't use anything else. We use star. We don't use x and all. Then we have exponent. Like if you want to write 2 raised to 3, 5 raised to 5, all those things, you write 2 double star 3. Double star stands for power. Okay. Then we have subtraction. Then we have division. And then we have modulus operator. Now this modulus operator is quite interesting. Okay, let me explain you how. Now whenever you divide two numbers, you get two things. One is quotient and one is remainder. Okay, if you want the quotient, you go for this division. You use slash, it will give you the quotient. But if you want the remainder, you use the modulus operator. Okay, if I write 10 modulus 3, it will give me 1. How did I got 1? Because when you divide 10 by 3, the quotient will be 3, but the remainder will be 1. Right? So whenever you want remainder, you use the modulus operator. Clear, everyone? So these are the few operators that you should know about in Python. Okay. Now let's discuss about type of value. Now let's say if I ask someone what is your age, you're going to tell me a number. If I ask you what's your name, you're going to tell me some alphabetical character. Right? Now you know that name signifies a character and age signifies a number. The same way, the computer also needs to categorize different types of value. So today we are learning two types of value, that is integers and float. What are integers? Integers are any number. Any number that can come to your mind is considered as an integer. And what's a float number? Float number is any number with a point in it. That is any decimal number you see, you can say it's a float number. Okay. Now in integer, negative numbers are also considered. All right, whether it be negative or positive, all the numbers are considered as integers. All right, so these are the first two types of value. Now today we will be learning three different types of value. The first two type is integers and float. Okay. Now let's try to understand the order of operation. Okay, now in front of you, I have two equations. On the left side, I have one, and on the right side also I have another one. Now, if you look at both the equation, both of them look exactly the same. There is one small difference. Here we have bracket, here we don't have a bracket. Okay, and when I run the code, you'll see the answer will be different for both the questions. Why the answer is different? Because of the bracket. Now, in your high school, you might have learned about a rule called as BODMAS rule, right? It's a rule that we use to solve the equation. So the similar rule exists in Python. So the rule is called a PEMDAS rule, which is parenthesis, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So we use this rule to understand how Python is solving the equation. If this is the equation, how the Python is solving, first it is doing the addition because of the bracket, and then it is doing the multiplication. Okay, so whenever you see any solution, whenever you see any calculation, and if you're not able to understand why you're getting that answer, it's probably because Python is following this rule. Okay, till here, anyone has any doubt? Anyone want to ask anything?
No.
Okay, all right. Now let's try to understand the concept by using a problem. Okay, so now I'm going to explain you a problem and I'll try to solve this problem by using Python. So let's say you want to buy a stock. Okay, and the value of the stock is $1450, and the money that you have is $60, and you're only allowed to spend 1/3 of your portfolio, that is 60 by 3, which is $20 is what you can spend on a single stock. I'll repeat again, the value of the stock is 1450. You have $60. Your portfolio size is $60, but you can only spend 1/3 of your portfolio, that is $20 you can spend. Now the question is, how many portfolios will you need to buy this stock? Because you alone cannot buy the stock, so you decided to ask your friends also to invest in it so that all of you combined can buy the stock. Okay, so the question is, how many such portfolios we need? Because all of your friends have a similar portfolio size. Everyone has $60. Everyone can spend $20 only on a single investment. Okay, so this is the question. So how will I solve this problem? I'm going to divide 1450 by 60 and then 60 by 3. If I do this, I'm going to get 8.06. Can anyone tell me what is wrong in this answer? Anyone? Ishan, can you tell me what is wrong in this answer? What is wrong in 8.06?
The decimal part.
Yes. So there are two things that are wrong in this answer. The first is the decimal point. I cannot call 8.06 of my friend. Either I call 8 friend or 9 friend. 8.06 I cannot call. This is the first problem. The second problem is the value is too low. Imagine, even if you call 9 of your friend, everyone investing $20, do you think you will be able to buy the stock worth $1450? The answer is no, right? So some mistake you have done. So what our computer has done, what Python has done, it has calculated differently. First, it has executed 1450 by 60. So I'm getting 24.17. And then this number is divided by 3, because of which I'm getting 8.06. All right. So this is how the calculations are being done. So how do you solve this problem? Very simple. You just add brackets around it. If you add bracket around 60 by 3, you will get 20. And then 1450 will be divided by 20 and I'll get 72.5. Okay. So this is how you add a bracket to get a right answer. All right. Now still we have one problem, that is the decimal point. Right. I can call 72 of my friend or 73, but how much should I call? 72.5 I cannot call. So we need a way to approximate this 72.5 to some number, probably 73. Okay. If I approximate 72.5 to 73, my problem is solved. Okay. So I'll explain you how to approximate a number in few minutes. But before that, let's discuss about one more topic, that is variable. Now notice when you look at this numbers in front of you, I cannot call it a program, right? Why? Because they are just numbers. I'm not using any programming concept. Okay. So the first topic that we will learn today is the variable. Now what's a variable? Variable, I'm pretty sure all of you know, we have learned about it in our math subject. So it's same. This variable and that variable exactly same. It's a container in which you can store some value. Okay, and this container has some name. You can give whatever name you want to this container. So I've created a variable portfolio limit. Okay, portfolio limit is equal to 60 by 3. And I can, so on the left side we have the variable name, on the right side we have the value. And this is assigned to operator. 60 by 3 is assigned to this variable portfolio limit. Okay, now how to name the variable? Okay, because if you notice, you cannot just name whatever you want. There are some rules and regulations that you need to follow. The first rule is your variable should not have a space in it. Okay, the first rule is your variable should not have a space in it. The second rule is your variable should not start with a number or a special character. Okay, I'll repeat again. There are two rules. One is your number should not start with a number or a special character, and the second is your variable should not have a space in it. Then how will you name your variable if you have two characters in it, two words in it? So what you will do, you will use underscore. So if I want to make a variable swallow limit, I'll write swallow underscore limit. Okay, why am I doing this? Because I cannot have a space. So instead of space, I'm having an underscore. So this way of making a variable is called snake case. Okay, snake case, like the snake wala snake case. The other way to name your variable is called camel case. In camel case, what we do, we write the first word and then second word, first character is capital. Okay, I'll repeat again. The first way is instead of a space, you use underscore. In second way, instead of a space, the first word is as it is. The second word, first character is capital. Because of which it's easy to read. Okay, there are two words in it. One is swallow and one is limit. Just by looking at this capital character. Okay, so these are the few rules that you should remember. So if you have understood this, let's solve a similar problem. Okay, now previously it was an individual, it was a HNI who was trying to buy that stock. Now it's a bank, and let's say it's a SVB bank. Okay, who always makes bad decisions. All right. So now even a bank want to buy the stock. The bank is also facing the similar issue. Bank has a money 900. You can say it's having $900 million, and it want to buy a stock worth $1450 million. Okay. Now I want to calculate the bank limit because bank cannot spend all of its money on a single stock. So bank is also calculating the limit, which is 1/3 of its portfolio size. So if its portfolio is 900, it can only spend 900 by 3, that is 300. So a single bank has a limit of $300 million. This is the amount that it can spend on a single stock. Okay. We need to calculate how many banks we need if we want to buy this stock. This is the problem. Okay. So again, I'll do the same thing. Now notice the difference. in the previous code and in this code. There is a huge difference. What is the difference? In previous code, I just had some numbers. But in this code, I have variable name. Because of the variable name, this code is much more readable compared to the previous one. If a third person also tries to read the code, even he will understand what is happening in this code. Line by line, you can understand this is like a percentage variable, and stock price variable, bank money variable, all the variables you can understand. Okay. So if you want to calculate bank limit, okay, bank limit is already calculated. Now we need to calculate number of bank. That is how many banks you need to buy that single stock. So what I'll do, I'll divide stock price with bank limit. Now notice that my variable names are not complete. Okay, I have not named it stock underscore price. The complete name I have not given. I've just given it, whatever is sufficient. So I've written stoc underscore pri. What it means? It means we have the freedom to name our variable. Whatever you want, you can name it. It's not necessary that you need to name it long. Okay, you can have it as short as you want. All right. So here I've created a variable number of bank, which is stock price divided by bank limit. So if you do that, you're going to get 4.8. What is 4.8? 4.8 is the number of bank that we need to buy the stock. Stock worth $1450 million. Okay. Now again we came across the same problem of decimal point. The answer is correct. Mathematically it is correct. But should I call 4 bank or should I call 5 bank? That's the question. So we need a way to approximate this 4.8 to 5. I cannot approximate it to 4 because if you have 4 banks won't be having enough funds to buy the stock. So it's logically correct answer to approximate it to 5. Okay. So how will I do this? This is the question. So let's see. There are different ways to do this. I'll show you one of the way. So in this way, I'm going to use a function int. So if you're someone who is coming from Excel background, okay, if you use Excel extensively, this is very easy for you to understand. And I'm pretty sure all of you have used Excel. Okay. So what we do is we use a int function. Inside the function, we write a number, usually a float number. So this int function will convert that float number to an integer. So this 4.8 will be converted to 4. So I'll get 4 plus 1, that is 5. Okay. So what are functions, how to create a function, all this thing I will be discussing later. For now, just remember this, that there is an int function. How do I know it's a function? Because after writing the word, we write round bracket. Whenever you see round bracket after a word, it means that word is a function. You see there are round brackets here. After int, there is a round bracket. It means it's a function. I'll repeat again. Whenever you see round bracket after a word, it means that word is a function. And what this function does, this function approximates the value. If you give him 4.8, it will approximate it to 4. Okay, one more thing. This function approximates always the lower value, whatever the lower limit is. If you give 9.9, then also it will approximate it to 9. If you give him 6.1, it will approximate it to 6. That's the speciality of this function. It always approximates to the lower limit. That is whatever the nearest integer number is. Okay. So if I put everything together, this is how my final code will look like. Okay. I've written percentage, then I've written stock price, bank money, bank limit, number of bank, then I've approximated the value and I've got 5 as the answer. So I need 5 total banks to buy that stock. Okay. Clear everyone? Anyone has any doubt till here? Anything you have not understood?
No, for the sake of coding, could you also use the other language, camel language as well, instead of the snake language that you used?
Snake case? Yes, you can use it. But usually Python developer, someone who codes in Python, always uses snake case. Python developer don't use camel case, but you can use it.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah. So let's code it out now. So I want everyone to go to Google and just search for online Python interpreter. Online Python interpreter. This is what I want everyone to search for. So you'll see multiple websites. I want you to go to this website called as Online GDP. I'll send the code in the chat room too. You can directly click on the link. Okay, I want everyone to visit this site. So there are lots of online interpreter. You can use anyone. So now let's try to code it out. Okay. Everyone is with me? Everyone has opened the website, onlinegdp.com?
Online GDP beta, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello world, okay,
Yes. So you'll see such type of code. You can just click on this run button to see if it's working or not. If you click on this green run button, you'll see hello world here. Okay, so this is the sample code that they have given us. Now notice there is this print function. So just now I explained to you about the int function. What int function does, it approximates the value. Similarly, we have a print function. What print function does, it will print whatever you write within the round bracket on the output screen. Whatever I write in the print will be shown in the output screen. That's what print function does. Okay, so if I run the code, you see it will show hello world. I'll just remove this thing for now. See, if I write here some number like 44, and if I run the code, it will show 44. If I write 44 plus 1, and if I run the code, it will show 45. So whatever you write inside the print will be shown in the output screen. Okay, so what we will do now, we will write the same code. The code that we have here, we will write the same code here. So first I'll make a variable stock price, stock underscore price. It's 1450. This is the price of the stock. Now notice that you can have whatever space you want after you have named the variable. Here you can have any number of space. Okay, it doesn't matter. Any number of space you want, you can have it. You cannot have a space before the name of the variable. Okay, in the beginning you cannot have a space. See, if I run the code, this will throw an error. Okay, I can have space, but after you have named the variable. Here I can have the space for any amount of any number of space I want, I can have. But in the beginning, you cannot have the spaces. Okay, so I've created a variable stock price. Then I'll make a variable portfolio.
Amount of money.
Yeah, money. Yeah, that's it. Money is equal to how much money do we have? We have, let's say, 900. That's the money. So here also we can have a space. So single space looks good. You can have, but single space looks good. Then I want to calculate limit. How much I can buy. So in my PPT, I have made another variable that is percentage, which is I have created 1/3. Okay. So if I want to calculate the limit, okay. So if I write limit, or what variable I have named here, I have created bank limit. So let's create the same variable bank limit. Bank underscore limit is equal to how much? It is money into percentage. Okay, or you can also directly do money divided by 3. Okay, directly you can do money divided by 3, which is 900 divided by 3, which will be how much? 300. So if I want to know the value of bank limit, I can write print bank limit. And if I run the code, you'll see bank limit is how much? It is 300. Okay, I'll repeat again. I have created a 3 variables: stock price, money, and percentage, where percentage is division of 2 numbers. And then I've calculated bank limit, which is equal to money into percentage. Money is 900, percentage is 1/3. So it is 900 divided by 3, which is 300. Now, if you look at the output, notice it is not a number. It's a float number, right? It's not an integer, it's a float number. So what can you analyze from this? You can analyze that whenever you divide two numbers, you always get a float number. You don't get an integer. You always get a float number. Just to show you, see what I'll do here. I'll write here print. I'll write 10 divided by 2. Okay, so it should give me 5. It will give me 5, but it will be a float number. It is 5.0. Okay, if I do 10 divided by 3, it will be 3.3333. It is 3.3333. Okay, so whenever you do any type of division, it always gives you a float number. Now we have the bank limit. Now we want to know number of banks. So I'll write num underscore bank is equal to how much? It is stock price divide by bank limit. Okay, if I print the number of bank, you'll see it will be 4.8. So it is 4.8333. I need to approximate it. So what I'll do, I'll write number of bank equal to int number of bank plus 1. Okay, because int function will approximate to the lower value. So that's why I'm adding 1 to it. Now if I print my number of bank again, you will see it will be 5. So it is showing me 5. If I remove this print, it will not show 4.8. It will only show me 5. If I remove this bank limit, it will not show me 300. It will only show me 5. I hope the code is clear. I'll give you guys 5 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes actually. Quickly note it down. If anyone is facing any error or something, you can let me know. I'll let you share your screen and I'll help you out. Okay. Benson, you have any doubt?
No, so far so good.
Okay. If you want me to lower my pace or improve my pace, you can let me know. Mustafa, what about you? Everything good?
Yes, I'm good.
So once you're done with the code, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, then we'll move forward.
Hi, hello.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bit of a thing. I've done print limit. Limit is equal to money times the percentage, right? So I got that, and they gave me a hello, whatever, 300 or whatever, 900 divided by 3. What's the next one? What do I need to do next?
So you have calculated bank limit till now?
Yeah, I've got that. I've got the, I ran that and I got a number, which sounds right to me.
Now I need to
What,
calculate number of bank. Have you
so that
calculated
would
that?
mean, no, I've not done that. So that's why I'm getting stuck on. So I need to now print. What do I need to do? Print what?
So first you write number of bank equal to stock price divided by bank limit. Okay, then you write print number of bank.
So let me
Okay,
just write this. Sorry.
so
So I got stuck on this first second part. Sorry. So you've
yes,
written number of bank is equal to, no, number of bank is equal to stock price divided by bank limit. Okay, just give me one second. Number underscore bank. Wait, I don't run that as yet. I don't need to run that. That's not a print number, right? Oh, no, next one, print.
yes. So this line 8, even if you don't print, it's fine because the last thing we have to print.
No, okay, I don't need to print. Okay, I don't need to run that then. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I need to put print a number of bank or no?
Yes, we have to. See, line 8 print, this line 8 it is giving me 4.8. But this line 11 print is giving me 5.
Yeah, because it's an integer rounding up, right?
Correct, on line 10.
So do I need to run the print line 8 or no?
Line 8, it's fine. Even if you don't write it, it's fine.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Like I just defined it. Okay, now when I go next one would be line 10 is what? What is it?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
correct.
I need to write +1 or is it automatically +1?
+1. You have to write it because this int function will approximate to a lower value.
Okay.
Okay, and we need
So
5 as an answer, so that's why we have done +1.
bank to int brackets. Int brackets. Number of bank +1. Bank. Print.
Hello.
Yes, Rahul.
Yeah, can we typecast the same thing in the line 7 only, in spite of writing those lines below?
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I got 5. Okay, right. I got 5. I got
Yes, great.
4.833 and then 5. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yes, all right, great. So is there anyone who's still stuck somewhere? You can let me know. I'll let you share your screen. Otherwise, we'll move forward. Anyone? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Let's move forward. So what we discussed just now is the topic of variable and integers. And we have seen the int function also and print function also. These few things we have discussed till now. Okay, now we will move to the next topic. The topic name is string. So what are strings? Strings are sequence of character that can store letter, numbers, or combination or anything. So how do you make a string? This is how you make a string. We either use a single quote or we use a double quote. Okay, you can either use a single quote to make a string or you can use a double quote to make a string. And within the string, you can write whatever you want. Whether you want to write a number, whether you want to write a special character, whether you want to write a space, comma, whatever you want, you can write it within the string. Okay, so make sure that if you're starting a string with a single quote, you end it with a single quote. If you're starting it with a double quote, you end it with the double quote. You cannot have different types of quote in the start and at the end. That is not allowed. Okay, so this is how you create a string. This is called string. Okay, anything inside the quote is considered as a string. Any number is called integer. Any decimal number is called as float value. You see, we categorize the values in different types. So till now we have seen 3 types: integers, float, and strings. Clear? Now, what happens when you add 2 strings? So I've created a first name equal to Marsh. I've created the last name equal to McLennan. And I've written full name equal to first name plus last name. I've added 2 string. What will happen? Because when you add 1 plus 1, it gives you 2. Right? It's a mathematical addition. But when you add 2 strings, it doesn't give you mathematical operation. It just attaches both the string with each other. This is called concatenation. I'll repeat again. When you just stitch 2 strings with each other, they are called concatenation of 2 strings. So here, this is not a mathematical addition. This is a concatenation. So when you add 2 strings, we don't say addition. We say concatenation. So we have concatenated first name with last name. Okay. So this is how the addition or concatenation works in string. Now what if, now here if you look at the output, there is no space between first name and last name. That is Marsh McLaren. There is no space in between. If you want to add, you can add it by adding a empty string. So I made a string with a single space in it. Okay. And this space is added in the output now. So let me show you this. So I'll just remove everything. I'll write first name is equal to, I'll write Nifty. I'll write last name equal to, I'll write 50. Now notice that my second line is a string. How do I know it's a string? Because it's a quote. But I've written a number inside the quote. Okay, even though I've written a number, but it is still a string. I cannot say it's a integer. Keep that in mind. Okay, this and n is equal to 50. They are both entirely different. This is an integer. This is a string. How do I know? By looking at the quotes. I hope I'm making sense. Now what I'll do, I'll write full name equal to first name plus last name. Okay, and if I print my full name and if I run the code, you'll see it is going to show me Nifty 50. Okay, if I want a space in between them, how I can do it? Either I can add a space here. If I add a space at the end of the string and if I run the code, see there is a space between Nifty and 50. Or I can also add a space here. And if I run the code, you see there is a space Nifty space 50. Any way you want, you can do it. Okay, the last way is you can add an empty string here plus empty string plus, and here I'll add a space. If I run the code, you'll see it is showing Nifty space 50. Okay, so this is how concatenation is done. Okay, anyone has any doubt in this? Anyone want to ask anything in concatenation? No one? Okay. Now let's discuss about the print function a bit more. Now I've shown you the print function, but that print function that I've shown you only used a single value or a single variable. What you can do in print, you can have multiple variables or numbers or values or variable you can have. Like here I've written print first name comma last name. So first name is printed as it is, last name is printed as it is. Okay. Now, whenever you add a comma in front, automatically a space is shown in the output screen. Okay. So if I have to show you, so if I write here print, I'll write A, then I'll write comma, I'll write B, then I'll write comma, I'll write 88. And I've written two values, three different values. Now, if I run the code, see automatically space is added. But if I write here instead of comma, if I write here plus A plus B, and if I run the code, you see A, B, there is no space between A and B. Okay. So whenever you use the plus, it doesn't add a space automatically. It just stitches the string with each other. Whenever you use a comma inside the print, it is not adding anything. See here, nothing is being added with each other. All it is doing, it is just showing as it is. So first it is showing this value, that is A plus B, then it is showing 88. Wherever there is a comma, a space is added in between. Okay. Clear everyone? Just say yes. You know, it would be great for me if you say yes once you understand something. Okay. Yeah. So this was about string concatenation and print function. Now let's discuss about comments. Now what are comments? Comments are like a user manual. Now when you buy some new stuff, you get a user manual with it, right? You go through the user manual, you'll come to know how to use that thing. All right. The same thing is applicable for programming. When you write a lot of code, it's not a right thing to read the entire code again and again. So what people do, they write a comment on it. They comment it, whatever that code is doing. Let's say you have written a code to place a limit order. So I'll write a comment above it. This code is placing a limit order. So if a third person is trying to read the code, there's no need for him to go through the entire code, right? He'll just read the comment. He'll understand, okay, this is what the code is doing. I can move forward, right? So this is the main purpose of the comment, and comments are ignored by the Python interpreter. Python interpreter, the software that understands the Python code and explain it to the computer, that software ignores the comment, whatever you write in the Python code. How to write a Python code? You write a Python code starting with a hash. Whatever you write after the hash is considered as a comment and will be ignored by the Python interpreter. Okay, so this entire line is ignored. All right. So there is a shortcut for commenting the entire code. It is you press control and question mark. Okay. You select everything, whatever you want to comment, and you press control and question mark. It will comment everything. If you want to uncomment everything, you just write control and question mark again. It will uncomment everything. You guys can give it a try. Select everything, press control and question mark, and see if you're able to comment the entire code or not. Okay. So this is what the comment does. Now what I'm doing here. Okay. Anyone has any doubt till here? Just everyone just give me a thumbs up if everything is good. Okay, Benson is giving me a thumbs up. Ishan, Mustafa, Rabindra, Rahul, Olawua, Tumise.
Hang on. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get something. So you're saying highlight the whole thing and put a control question mark, is it?
Yes. Yes. You select everything and then you press control question mark. It will comment everything. Okay. If you want to uncomment, again control and question mark. Like if control is not working, you can try pressing some other button like shift, not shift. Like I have a Mac OS, so I'm not sure which button, but yeah, I think control question mark works.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's highlighted. Maybe it turns orange. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm doing here, I have created three variables. Okay. One is string name. The variable name is name. The value is apple. This is nothing but a string. Description, which is equal to again a string, and value, which is again a number. Okay. Three different variables I have, and I'm making a sentence out of it. I'm writing name plus is a plus description plus value that plus value. Now when I run this code, it throws an error. And when I look at the error, it is saying can't convert int object to string implicitly. Why we are seeing this error? This is because we are trying to add two different types of value. We are trying to add a string with an integer. And in Python, you cannot add a string with an integer. I'll repeat again. In Python, you cannot add a string with an integer because string is string. Int is a number. Like I'm asking you to add your age with your name. How will you add it? Will your age increase or will your name increase? Tell me. You don't know, right? So Python also don't know how to do that. So that's why you're not allowed to add a string with an integer. Okay. So how do you solve this problem? In case if you still want to add it, how will you do this? So there are two ways to do this. One is you write a quote around it. So I'll show you an example. I'll okay, let it be. I'll just show you. I'll write a is equal to it's a string abc or hello. Okay, and there is a b is equal to it's a number 44, and I wish to add both the values. So if I write print a plus b, and if I run the code, you'll see it will throw an error. Can only concat string, not some error is there. So how do you solve this problem? One way is I'll add a quote around it. I'll make my b also string. Okay, if I do this and if I run the code, see it is going to work now. It is saying hello 44. This is one way of solving this problem, but this is not the best way. This is not the right way to solve this problem. Why? Because we are changing the original data source, which is not a good thing to do. So it's better not to change your original data. What else you can do? Just like we have the int function. You remember the int function that I told you a few minutes back? We'll use a similar function called as str function, which means string function. So I'll take the entire b, I'll put it around str. Okay, I'll add a space so that it's more visible. So what I did, I took b and I added and I'm just sending that b in a string str function. What str function will do? This function will convert my integer to string. Okay, now if I run the code, again the output will be same, but this is a more I can say better way to solve the problem. Clear everyone? How I'm solving the problem of adding two different types of value?
We can also use the comma, right?
Correct. Now here, if you don't want to add anything, you can directly use comma. You can write a comma b. This will solve your problem. But the problem is here we are not adding anything. We are just printing as it is. Okay. Now let's say you have a number within here also, and now we want to add both of them. Now it depends. Do you want to do string concatenation or do you want to do mathematical addition? If I want to do string concatenation, I can directly write a comma b. It should give me the same answer. Okay. If I or what you can do, or you can write here plus. You'll write str. You'll write b around str. Okay. This will give you 44 44. This is string addition. If you want mathematical addition, you will keep b as it is, and you'll add int around a. So what int will do, int function will convert your string into integer. 44 will be converted to integer, and you will see it will give me 88. Okay. So one was mathematical addition, one was string concatenation. So this is how you add different types of value. All right. Yeah, this is what I have told you, str string function. Now dealing with quotes in string. Let's say you want to write a quote in string. So if you write a quote this way, it will throw an error. Because what Python interpreter will think that you started your quote here, you ended it here, then again you started, and you never ended your quote. This is what the Python interpreter will think. Right. So to solve this problem, you use different type of quotes. In the end, you use double quote, and in between you use single quote. This approach will solve this problem of quotes in string. Okay. Now let's discuss about special characters in string. Okay. So before that, I'll give you guys 2 minutes, to note it down. Quickly note this down and let me know once you're done. Okay. Just give me a thumbs up once you're done.
Can we use backslash in spite of that double quote
Where?
for escaping that the line skipping character?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. We can use that also. Just give me a thumbs up once you guys are done with the code. So I'll just write it down to, this is one way. This is like a string addition, and the other was this is like mathematical addition, line 11, and this is string addition.
Does the A have to be in commas?
What needs to be in comma?
A. When you wrote A is equal to 44, does it have to be in commas?
Quotes.
Or
Yes.
quotes? Sorry, it has to be in quotes. Is it?
Yes. So whenever something is within the quote, it means it's a string.
Okay.
Olalua, can you hear me? Tunmis, say.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you.
Any doubt? Are you understanding the stuff?
No, yeah, perfectly. It's really interesting. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'll give you guys 1 more minute. Note it down, then we will move to the next topic.
Okay.
All right, so I hope you guys are done with this. Now let's discuss about special characters in string. Now what are special characters? Now let's say you have written two variables, famous sketch 1, famous sketch 2. Both of them are strings. Pretty good. And I've printed both the string. And this is how the output is going to look like. Okay, first name, then the last name separated by a comma. That is separated by a space. Now I don't want this to look this way. Okay, I want to change the way it looks. So what you can do, you can use a special character. So there are a lot of special characters in the world. We will be discussing two of them, which only one is quite mostly used. The others are never used. The only special character that we use is slash n. Okay, it's actually a string. You write slash n within the string. You don't write it anywhere else. You only write slash n inside the string. So here you see I have written slash n, here I have written slash n, and here also I have written slash n. What does this slash n will do? This slash n will take the string after slash n and move it to the next line. Whatever content you have after slash n will be moved to the next line. That's what the slash n will do. Okay, so if I run the code, you'll see that this famous work is printed. There is a colon. Then this famous sketch 1 is moved to the next line. Why? Because of the slash n. Famous sketch 2 is also moved to the next line. Why? Because of the slash n. So I'll show you in the real code also. So if I write here, if I run the code, see right now it is showing me 44, 44. Okay, but if I write here after a, if I write here slash n, so this entire code will move to the next line. See, now look at the output. Right now it is 44, 44. If I run the code, it will be 44. In the next line, it will be 44. So it is in the next line, it is 44. So whenever you write slash n, Slash n means new line. So the content is being moved to the next line. That's what the slash n represents. Okay. So this special characters, they are also called escape sequence. Okay. So it is called escape sequence. Okay. You can just search about the escape sequence. I'll give you this as an assignment. Just go online and search about escape sequence. You'll come to know that there are a lot of other escape sequences too. This is not like the only escape sequence that exist. Now I would like to tell you about another escape sequence which is called slash t. See, if I write something here and okay, let's forget about this. Maybe I'll write something else here. Print something. If I run the code, this is how the content looks like. If I write slash n anywhere, this is the slash n. Okay, and if I run the code, you see after slash n, whatever you have is moved to the next line. Okay, now similar to slash n, we have slash t. So if I write slash t, what will happen? It will add a tab in between. So wherever you write slash t will be replaced with a tab. So if I run the code, you see here we have a tab. Okay. So slash t is being replaced with a tab. Slash n is replaced with a new line. That's what these two escape sequence represents. Okay. All right. So let me just quickly revise whatever we have discussed. Then we will start with a new topic. Okay. All right. So first we have discussed about variable. So what's a variable? It's like a container. You know, in this you can have whatever values you want, whether you want to have a string, whether you want to have a integer, whether you want to have like a float, any type of value you want, you can have, and you can name this something, you know, like let's say this is a stock underscore price. Okay, you cannot have a space. Keep in mind, space is not allowed. You can have underscore or you can use camel case. Then I've shown you about the int function, the string function, and the print function. Right? We have seen the three function. Int function is capable of converting anything to integer. That's the specialty of the int function. String function has a capability of converting anything into string, and print function has the capability of printing it in the output screen. That's what print function does. Okay. Then we have seen about strings. Anything if you write within the quote like ABC, this is called a string. You can also use a single quote ABC. Both of them are called as strings. Okay, clear? Then when you add to string, it is called string concatenation. And then we also discussed about escape sequence just now. Escape sequence, slash n, slash t. These are all escape sequences. Then I also, here I have discussed about PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS rule, remember?
Yeah.
P stands for parenthesis, E stands for exponent, M stands for multiplication, D for division, A for addition, S for subtraction. I think that's all we discussed. Yeah. So now I want to discuss something very interesting, which is called indexing and slicing. Indexing and slicing. Okay, so I want you guys to pay attention because this is a little difficult, not that difficult. Like I won't even say difficult, but yeah, a little difficult to understand. So let's say you have a string. Okay. P, Y, T, H, O, N. Okay, you have a string Python. How many characters are there? Total 6 characters are there. This is first character, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Right. Maybe it's better if I show you the PPT only, then I'll explain you again. See what I have right now. We are studying about indexing. So I have a string greeting, which is a string starting from H going till exclamation. And there are total
11.
12 characters in this. Why 12? Because the numbering is starting from 0. See, if I count the starting number from 0 and if I go till the end, you'll see there are 9 fingers in my hand. Just give it a try. Okay, if you're counting start from 0, the last number will be 9. It won't be 10, even though there are 10 fingers. So the same thing is applicable in programming also. In programming in computer world, counting start from 0. Okay. computer will never say you have 10 fingers. Computer will say you have 9 fingers because you're counting, the computer is going to count from 0. Okay. So the first character in the string will be having the index 0. This is called index. Index 0, index 1, index 2. These are all indexes. So indexing starts from 0 and it goes till n minus 1. What is n? N is the number of element in the string. How many numbers are there? There are total 12 characters in the string. So the last character will be having the index 11. So whenever you want to access any character by using the index, this is how you do it. You write variable name square bracket index equal to just that's it. It will give you that character at that index. If I write variable name square bracket 11, what's the character at 11? It is exclamation. So it will give you exclamation. If you write variable name square bracket 12, it will give you nothing. Why? Because there is no character with 12 index, right? And look at the error. The error will always be same. In future, whenever you see this error, index error, it means you're trying to access a string. You're trying to access a character with the index which doesn't exist. In such type of situation, only you're going to see this error. Okay. Now there is a built-in length function in string. So length function tells you how many characters are there in the string. So if I run the length function, it will give me 12. So this is the fourth function of the day, length function, which tells you how many characters are in the string. So let me show you on VS on my interpreter. So I'll make a variable. Let's call it word1 equal to, I'll name it Python. Okay. And if I write print word1 and if I write print, okay, I'll also make a variable L is equal to length of word1 and I'll write print L. Now if I run the code, you see first it is showing Python, then it is showing 6. Why 6? Because length of word is what? 6. There are 6 characters in the string. Okay. Now I'm going to use the concept of indexing. Okay, I'll write print word1 square bracket. You specify the index. If I write 0, it will give me what? It will give me P. Okay, if I write 2, it will give me what? 0, 1, 2. It will give me T. So it is giving me T. This is how you can use the index to access the character from the string. Okay. If you have a string, you can use the concept of indexing to access the character from the string. This is not applicable for numbers. If you have an integer, you cannot do this. If there is a number, you cannot just access the number by using index, because in integers, we don't have index. We don't say this is like, this is 100 digit, this is 100 index, this is 1000 index. Such type of thing don't exist in Python integers. Keep that in mind. This is only applicable in strings. If you have a string, only string, in string only we have indexing, where the indexing starts from 0 and it goes till n minus 1, where n is the number of element in the string. If there are 5 elements, the last index will be 4.
And the reason it's in quotes is because it's a string. That's why.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Anything you write in a quote, it's a string.
Okay.
See, on the left side, we have a variable. On the right side, this is not a variable, it's a string, because there is a code, it's a value. There's a difference between a variable and a value. Variable is
Right.
a container in which you store something. Value is the value that you store.
Sure.
Okay, now we discussed about the indexing. Now let's try to solve one problem. Let's say that we are trying to write a code, okay, about a human which is only able to speak half of the word. Okay. Now, if I ask him to say good evening, he will only say odd name. That is half of the word. So how will you code this? So we have word1 which is equal to good. Whatever I have learned till now, I'll write word1 square bracket 2 plus word1 square bracket 3. Correct. And if I do this and if I run the code, it will give me OD. Okay. Half of the word I was able to get. Now the problem with this approach is if the word is too long, what if the number of characters in the word are like 1000, 10,000? So how many times will you write it? Word to square bracket 500, word to square bracket 501, and so on. How many times will you write? Right? So indexing can solve the problem, but I need to know something more to solve this problem. This half of the word problem. Right? Indexing is not enough. Right? I'll repeat again what the problem is. If the number of characters in the word are 1000, 10,000, I have to write the same thing again and again so many times, like 500,000 times I have to write. Okay, so this is the problem that we will solve now by understanding a new concept of slicing. So just now we understood about indexing. Now I'm going to explain you about slicing. Okay, so just pay attention because you are going to learn about slicing. Let's say you have a string like this and you want a part of the string. I just want this THO from this string. I don't want anything else. I just want this THO. So how will I get this? So what you'll do, you'll write variable name, square bracket, starting index, colon, ending index plus 1. Okay. So starting index is 2, ending index is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So the formula will be word square bracket 2 colon 5. It will give me THO. Okay, so
Why
what's the
5?
formula? Yes.
Why the plus 1?
Yes. Why plus 1? That's an interesting question. But it is what it is. The formula is plus 1. So
But
we
if you
cannot
did
do.
if you did 2, 4, then what would happen?
It
What
will
would give
give you
you?
TH.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how they have created the slicing formula. I don't know why they have done this, but it is what it is. So we cannot do anything. So if I have to
Hello.
show you the formula, this is how the formula looks. It's variable name,
Uh,
square bracket, start, colon, end plus 1. Okay.
yeah, can I say one thing like plus one is for backslash zero because the output or the result would be also a string, and string will be ending with the backslash zero.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Like n plus one is written, right?
Yes.
So a string ends with a backslash zero.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so plus one is for that. Might be the result or the output that we are also getting is a string after slicing.
Mm-hmm.
So plus one is for backslash zero, maybe. I'm not
Like,
sure regarding that.
yeah, even I'm not sure. So maybe you can ask Chat GPT about it. Why do you have plus 1 in the formula? But I don't think it's that important to know why do we have plus 1 because we just use it. Okay. So tell me, I am going to randomly call someone. He has to tell me what what will be the code. Okay. What if we want to slice geo from the string? So Benson, you tell me what code will you write if you want to slice geo from the string?
It will be 0 colon 2.
And you forgot to write something in the beginning. Variable name, right? So you'll write word one square bracket 0 colon 2. Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. So now, Mustafa, you tell me what will you write if you want to slice OD from the string?
Okay, so I think we write the same word one, and in the brackets we'll write 2:4.
Correct. So you'll write 2 colon 4. Now notice that here I'm writing a index which doesn't exist. Right? 4 doesn't exist, but still I'm writing. Yes, for indexing, for slicing, it's fine. Okay, you can write it for now. Now there is a shortcut too when you want to slice from the start. So you can leave the 0 blank. If you have 0 in the beginning, you can leave it blank. You can just write colon 2. And if the last index, if the ending index is out of the range, then you can also leave it blank. This is the shortcut of slicing. That is, you just write colon 2 and you write 2 colon. From 2, everything it will give you for the right side, for the left side, from the start till to everything it will give you. Okay, so I'll just show you again on the interpreter. See, if I want, let's say, PYT, the starting 3 characters. So what I'll do, I'll write colon 0, 1, 2, 3. I'll write 3. See, if I run the code, it will give me PYT. And let's say I want HON. Starting index is H. What is the index of H? 0, 1, 2, 3. It is 3. So I'll write 3 colon. It will give me from H, it will give me till the end.
You
Clear?
don't do plus 1. You don't do plus 1 here.
No need to do it, right? Because I want it till the end. Like
But in
if
the
I
first,
want,
but in the first 3 ones where you did PYT.
I did. So starting index is 0. Okay, ending index is what? 0, 1, 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. I want till t. I only want this
Okay,
much. So it will be
right.
what? Colon 0, 1, 2 plus 1. That is 3. I will write 3.
Oh, I see. Okay. Right.
Okay, clear everyone? How we are doing slicing? Okay, so now if I implement this in my code, this is how my code will look like. Instead of writing word2 square bracket, word2 square bracket and all, I'll write word1 square bracket, just a single slice. Instead of multiple index, I'll write a single slice. It will give me OD. Right? It's a way better approach to solve this problem. Now, how? So there are two words. One is word1, one is word2. For word1 also I'm calculating end1. For word2 also I'm calculating end2. Okay, the same concept of slicing I'm using. Now the problem is, I have to manually figure out the center part of the string. I have to divide the string in two parts. I want the center part. So manually I'm saying that this is the center part 2. Here the center part is 3. I have to figure out manually. The question is, can I do it without manually checking the center part? Can anyone suggest me any approach or any technique that we can use to figure out the center part of a string? Anyone?
Use the tab function.
Which function?
You separate by tab, the backslash n or something?
No, no. I'll repeat the question again. The question is, I have a string, two strings I have, and to figure out the center part of the string, I have to manually look at the string, right? If there are 4 characters, the center part will be 2. If there are 6 characters, the central part will be 3. So how do you calculate the center part of the string? If you
We
give us,
can
yes,
Len by 2.
we can calculate the length and
correct,
divide.
correct. That's what
Len
we are going
divided
to
by
do.
2.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll calculate length of the word one and I'll divide it by 2. Now the problem with division is whenever you divide two number, it always gives you a float value. So here it will be 2.0 and here it will be 3.5. And look at the index. Do you see 2.0 and 3.5 anywhere? The answer is no, because indexes are not float value, they are integers. So we need to approximate this. How to do this? I've shown you just now by using the int function, but I'm going to show you another way to do it. Okay, so today we will be seeing two ways of approximating. One is by using the int function, which I've already shown you. The second approach is, instead of writing a single slash, you write double slash. Okay, whenever you write double slash, it will automatically give you the float integer value. It will not give you a float value. Okay, so here it will give me 2, here it will give me 3. You don't need to use the int function and all. Directly use double slash, it will automatically give you the lower int value instead of a float value. Okay, so if I put everything together, this is how my final code will look like. Okay, good. Then length, I've calculated the length, then I'm slicing, then finally I'm printing it. So I'll give you guys 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. Quickly note it down and give me a thumbs up once you're done with it. Okay, everyone, quickly note it down and let me know once you're done with it. Give me a thumbs up once you're done with the code.
I got an error.
You can share your screen. So Puneet, you have to click on that green button on the Zoom screen share. Click on
Yeah.
desktop one and click on share. Yeah. So if you look at the error, it is saying int and string. So
Yeah.
your word one length you have divided. If you look at the error, it is showing line 15. On
Line
line
15,
15,
half.
you have written half 2 is equal
Yeah.
to length of word 2 double
Yeah.
slash word 2. It should
Oh,
be
sorry.
2.
Should be 2.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Should be 2.
Yes. Now run the code again. No. Again it has changed. Again it has changed to 2.
Yeah.
Just write 2. Yes.
I see. Okay.
Yes. Now it is correct. Stop
All
your
right.
share.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
And stop your share.
I didn't stop it?
No.
Oh, yeah. Stop it. Sorry. Here you go. Sorry. Okay.
All right. So I guess that's it for today, everyone. Okay. So before I end the session, anyone has any doubt? Anyone want to ask anything? Before I end the session? Benson, Olawa, Ololua, Rahul. Any doubt before I end the session?
Okay, so I just want to say thank you so much for this session. At least I had a quick refresher on some of the things I had known before. You also gave me more, more conviction about, your program. So yeah, So that's it. Yeah, thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, and I believe for your program, the paid one,
Mhm.
is it gonna go from the scratch like this for
This is a
so
paid
someone?
program. Ola. Yeah, we will be going every week. We will be having the session, and the pace will be the same.
Okay. All right. This is my first time of joining this though.
Okay. No problem.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome. Benson, Ishan, Rahul.
Yeah, I would like to ask something.
Yeah.
When we code any strategy
Yes.
to, do any kind of trading in any market, so what is the length of a typical code? Like how many lines of code are there generally in a typical program if we have to code any strategy?
For a very basic strategy, it goes up to 300 line of code. Very basic. And complex might go up to 600. Like intermediate, you can say 600, 700. Complex might go more than 1000. 300 is like the bare minimum.
Okay.
300 or 200
So,
between that.
okay. So when you said 700,000,
No,
is it
no, no,
like,
not 1000. I never said 1000.
yeah, I mean around
700.
600, 700.
Only 700, not 1000. There is no 1000 lines of code.
Okay. So, if you are writing that much of code, 600, 700 lines, so is it just like one strategy or multiple strategy
One.
or one? Okay, cool, cool. And will we be also talking about alpha?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, just one more thing.
Yeah.
Out of all the strategies that you have coded till now, what has been the highest win rate?
Highest win rate.
Yeah,
Are you talking about the back testing or in the live market?
both.
Yes. 70, 80, I guess. 80-ish.
70, 80 is decent, I think.
Yeah, 80%. 70 to 80% of the trade being profitable. Like the best of the best. Well, see, it depends on when you're back testing it, right? Like,
Mhm,
let's say there is a very bearish market. Okay.
mhm.
And you have
Yeah,
a strategy which profits on the bearish market, and for that 1 month it was a bearish market. So you will
yeah.
get 80%. But if you take the same strategy and if you run it in the bullish market, you'll see that the percentage reduces drastically. From 80% it will go to 20%. Okay.
Okay.
So that depends on the time frame actually when you backtest. So whenever you take a very long time frame, like maybe 10, 20 years, you'll never
Mhm.
get any strategy like more than 60%. It's like very rare. See, more than 60% is like very, very rare.
Okay. So that means we always have to, modify the strategy
Yes,
depending
yes,
upon the time frame and the market conditions.
yes. That's true. Because some strategy might work in some time frame, but the thing is, it
Mhm.
was only working in that time frame. It's not working in another time frame.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Sunil, can I ask whether can we code it to trade during specific time frame only, like what you mentioned?
Mm-hmm. I didn't get your question. Like you're asking
No,
me in
no.
which time?
If we write a program in the future, can we specify the program to just trade during the certain time frame?
Yes, yes, yes. That's very simple. We can
Okay,
do it.
okay, thanks.
Yeah. So see, we will be dealing with different type of strategies. We will be dealing with 5 minute strategy. If you, let's say, like, it totally depends on you. Just have to change one line of code. You have a strategy which runs every minute. You might have a strategy which runs every 15 minute, every 1 hour. Okay. After every 1 hour, let's say you want to not only trade in one type of instrument, you want to take trade in multiple type of instrument. Like one you are trading, one position is in option, one is on future, something like that, and you want to keep track. Like let's say the future has made a loss of 2%. Okay, your future leg has made a loss of 2%. You want to close off the another leg. Everything is possible. Everything we will be discussing.
Have you built strategies for high frequency trading?
No, no. Like here in this course, we won't be discussing about high frequency because that goes in second level. Okay, in second we will be doing a lot of things that I won't be discussing, because for that you need C++, and I don't have time to teach C++. This is like a beginner course. We won't be going in high frequency. We will be living in mid frequency and low frequency. In that domain, we will be designing our strategy.
Okay, we'll go to mid frequency, right?
Yes, you will go to that.
We can only code high frequency in C++.
Yes, yes. You can code it, but like there won't be any point in coding it in Python, because it will never work. You have to, you need, if you're if you have a high frequency strategy, it should be coded in C++ only. Okay. All right. So I guess that's it for today. So tomorrow we will be having two sessions. Okay. One, the normal session. And after this, I will be having the installation session also. So in that session, I'll explain you about all the software that we need. All the software installation part, I'll do it tomorrow only. And from next week onward, again, we will be having a single session. Only for tomorrow, I'm having two sessions. One, the normal session, where we'll be discussing about conditionals. And in the next session, I'll do the software installation part. Okay. All right. That's it for today, everyone. See you again tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.